Hey everybody, it is Monday and we're just past Thanksgiving. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you were able to watch the video that Angela and I put out later, I guess it was Sunday or Saturday, I can't remember now. But we're back at it and everybody had a little bit of a break, and so we're back tracking the numbers where our conference call this morning was packed. 300 plus people on there. We had a strong representation of elite producers that are doing six figures and up multiple six figures, $700,000 a year. Those are doing face to face. Some of those folks are doing even better than that. But virtual is where it's at. It is the future of the business. And look, here's my binder. Okay, it's full of I call virtual truth bombs. That the things that we've learned, but also the things that all these agents, these new agents that are going through our program, that they're learning, that we talk about every single day on a coaching call so that we all can improve. Look, we've been doing virtual for 18 months or better, started in it right before COVID hit, and then through hundreds of presentations and hundreds of hours of videos, conference calls with people that are going through the process, learning the process, actually doing trying to figure it out, right? Going through tons of leads, a lot of failed appointments, no sales, the frustrating, the foundation. Angela and I were talking the other day when we were driving down the road. We looked over and we saw this building that was being constructed, and the concrete on that building, I can't do it on the phone here because you won't be able to see it, but it was about 18 inches. And I'm going, look at how much solid concrete they had as a foundation for that building. I'm saying it must have been they must be planning on building a heck of a sized building because the foundation was huge. And it occurred to us that that's the problem that most people have in this business or in any business. But what we see our agents do, they want to skip the foundation and go right to making money. And the foundational training to get you used to the process, right? We find that the strategy, the structure, and the process are key here, and especially in virtual, face-to-face or virtual, really doesn't make any difference, but virtual it's a special deal. It's a different type of deal, and it's not telesales. Virtual sales is not telesales. Telesales is not virtual sales, and they don't really change over except you use the phone, right, to start the initial presentation. This is virtual, and so virtual is the same thing. This kind of virtual is the same thing with your appointments. But the point is that training, support, and leads really are key to your success. And that's why we developed after 18 months. It wasn't that we just learned it or we just decided to do something with virtual like all these other IMOs that suddenly are virtual happy. We were doing virtual, time-tested and proven, like I said, 18 months of just grinding it out, trying to figure out what are the truth bombs when it comes to virtual. What are the things that are time-tested and proven to work in virtual? Because you and I are spending big money on leads. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing and that we're constantly evolving ourselves in our skill set and evolving the platform based on now hundreds of agents rather than a couple of dozen that are actually in there doing it, and we're discovering new things that work, and our ratios are getting better, right? Everybody has a closing ratio. Everybody has a ratio, right? And over time, your ratios will appear and they'll change based on your experience level, your skill set. So that's why it's so important to reread the book, right? Because 5 or 10 times. You may have read it a year ago, but you're in a different place now than you were a year ago. So there's certain things are going to connect with you today that they didn't back then. I'm going off on a tangent a bit, but that's why it's so important to come into this thing with a hungry to learn, be a sponge, right, and be willing to invest in your business, your time, right. We have these calls every single day, and it amazes me. I was telling Angela earlier today that what's really a cue to us is the people that are not showing up. Okay, you've got a panel of agents that are knocking down, multiple six figures, some seven figures, that are on this panel that are answering anybody's questions, that they have live, right? Not scripted, but live. And if you had the opportunity to sit down with 10, 15, 20 different multi-millionaires in the industry that you wanted to be in, right? Would you show up? And if you wouldn't show up because you had, the grass needed to be cut or the car needed to be taken in to have new tires put on it or brakes done or whatever, your computer didn't work. And I bring that up for a reason, because in the last couple of days, Angela's monitor has failed on her computer. She has mine, so I've been using my laptop and not my desktop, right? And today the laptop crashed right in the middle of as I was trying to do a video. It crashed. I got to take it into the Apple store today. So now that's a big distraction of my life. 2-hour drive, 4 hours round trip, a couple hours in the store. I mean, who knows? Right? So now I'm doing this video on my iPhone. I don't have a desktop computer. I don't even have a laptop computer. And I'm trying to keep her productive as well. Is that something that would derail your day? Because if it would derail your day, I would tell you got to have a business mindset, not an employee mindset, right? Employees would pick up their briefcase and clock out and say, hey, when you get the power back onto the cash register, let us know. We'll come back in and we'll start serving coffee again. A business owner who has their livelihood nailed to that floor financially would figure out how to do business without electricity, if possible, right? Do the old, remember those little books you could buy in the store? They were checkbooks that the waitress used, right, to write out your order, and you took them in there and you paid cash, right? Remember those days? Business owners figure out how to run their business out of cash register, because you did it the old manual way. Get yourself a cash drawer. My point is that training, support, good leads is important. Being around people that are like-minded, that are going through the training right now, that are actually doing the do. Right? Making money, being successful. That's critical, and that's what we have here. Then what do you need to bring with it to be successful? Well, first of all, you got to show up. You got to be hungry. You got to want to succeed here. It can't be want like, I want an ice cream. It has to be want like, if I don't get that, I won't be able to survive. It'd be like someone holding your head down underneath water, right? And the only thing you can think of is, I got to breathe. Because if I don't breathe, I'm going to die. Okay, that's the kind of attitude. Think about that for a second. Pause the video if necessary, but that's the kind of attitude you need to have to be successful in any business. Because business is tough. If you can't toughen up, right, and you're willing to pay the price and make the investment, both monetarily and from a time standpoint, you really ought to stay as an employee. I'm just being honest with you. Okay? There's a difference between a business mindset and an employee mindset. A business owner knows that, hey man, I got my livelihood invested in that store down the street or whatever it is, and I got to go open the stinking store. I got to be open, for my customers to walk in and spend money, because everything I own is invested in that store succeeding. That's how I feed my family. That's how I pay my bills. And so I'm not in this business spare time or even part-time. Even if you have part-time hours, you better be consumed about getting better at running that business, right? The part-time that you're running it, so that it pays your bills and returns the investment that you initially made in that business to get it started in the first place. That's what I'm talking about. And I find that to be so frustrating with some agents, that they want the maximum results. They hear that, hey, this guy's making $55,000, and by the way, we had a 23-year-old make $55,000 this month. Actually, we didn't get the first month out yet. So there are big numbers, right? But then they want to come here and we have everything it takes to succeed. We got the good leads. We own our own mailing program, and unlike the other IMOs. Ask them if they actually do their own mailing and they own it, or they're going to give you a piece of paper with some third-party lead vendors on it, okay, that you have to go out and negotiate your own price with. That's a clue for you, okay? But again, go through that process, right, and show up. Be willing to learn. Be willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Be hungry for the knowledge, okay? But once you get past, as I was saying, the leads, the training and support, you have an ideal system with there's no saying that tea and timing is more important than tea and talent. Well, that's it right now. Okay? The timing is right now. We are in a paradigm shift in how life insurance is marketed in this country. So if it's not this opportunity, what opportunity will finally say, you know what? I got to change the way I think. I've got to change how I process things. I've got to change my attitude. I gotta change my activity level. Something has to change, because whatever got you, those same attitudes, that same activity level, that same thought process got you where you're at today. And it's clearly not where you want to be, because that's where you signed up or are looking to sign up and get involved in the virtual life insurance paradigm shift. But if you bring that same stinking thinking back into this paradigm shift, it doesn't matter how much training, good leads, good support, virtual platform, paradigm shift, timing is like it's never been in 40 years in this industry, you still won't make it. Why? Because you didn't change you and your thought process. Okay, if you want to change how you think and change how you approach things and change your activity level, have a sense of urgency, be hungry for the knowledge and the information, show up to the conference calls that are free, right? And be around people that are doing what you want to do at the level that you want to do it at for free. Grant Cardone is not free, folks. He charges $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 for a session, 1 hour deal, whatever it is, okay? These people are willing to giving you your time for free. All you got to do is show up. Now, an employee would say, well, you know, I can't show up because it's lunchtime, or I'm going to be driving, or I got to cut the grass, or I got to get my hair cut, or my kids, I got to get the kids up to school. Hey, use a stinking Bluetooth. Put it in your ear and listen to it. That 1 hour call could change your life forever. Okay? That's the point. You got to show up and be hungry. And if you do that with what's going on right now, you will change your life forever financially. And if you change your life financially, you will change the quality of your life as well. Because I find that, yes, you can have a good quality life while being broke, but it sure helps when you have money to change your quality of life and change others around you. And you can also, if you really get serious about this and have that business mentality, you can create generational wealth long after you leave. But you've got to change how you process this right here, your thought process. You can't bring the same stinking thinking to a new opportunity and expect that things will change. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results, is the definition of insanity. Okay? Business mindset, employee mindset. Employee mindset is you show up, they pay you whether you work or not, and you go home and you forget about it until you get back up tomorrow morning. It's a 9 to 5 obligation. Business mindset is you have the opportunity to come in here, run your own deal, and create unlimited income where no one has a thumb on your income or on you. You don't have to ask anybody for time off. You don't have to ask anybody to take your kids to the doctor or to a soccer game. You are in full control. And sometimes being in full control, right, is a negative for certain people, because you take advantage of it. You say no to things that your business needs, but you will say yes when your boss says it. If your boss says, hey, you got to go to this trade show, and if you don't go, you're fired, you'll go. But if I tell you, hey, look, you should go to this trade show because it's going to change, you need the information to grow your business. No, I don't really want to go because I need to stay home. I hate traveling. Again, be careful what you're saying no to. Understand that it's what, as my son used to tell me years ago, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So just because you can say no doesn't mean you should. What I cannot give you, I can give you a lot. I already talked about what I can give you. Then I can give you my time, which is valuable. What I can't give you is desire. That you got to bring, okay? That you got to bring. Look, you can run your business as you see fit. I'm no agent to I'm no boss to my agents. I'm a coach, potentially a mentor. I'm here to serve them and help them. Our agents are our clients, right? There is no other thing that goes on here that is a bigger priority. But I can't push a rope uphill. I can't give you desire if you don't have it. You got to get desire and passion about your future. You got to want to save your own stinking butt, right? That's the point. We have no production requirements here. We have no quotas. We have no office hours. We have no bosses. We work from home truly 100% virtual, and we give you those tools required. And we're here to answer questions just about 24/7. Certainly 5 days a week on a conference call, and then of course you have me available on text 7 days a week, okay? Or email or phone. I choose not to use the phone on Sundays. It's my time to be with my family. But if it's an emergency, I'm there. If you're with a client, I'm there. All of that in order for you to produce unlimited income. But for that privilege, you have an obligation. You have responsibilities, right? You have cost. You have advertising costs in this business. You don't have the great thing about this business is for the cost of insurance license, you can change your life and many others. A couple $100, right? But as in any business, you have other costs. Now we've eliminated the car and the gas, the virtual, which is fantastic. But you had to get yourself in front of clients like this in order to talk to them about what they're interested in, okay? Which is advertising in traditional businesses. Our advertising cost or our lead cost, okay, which is scalable. And I recommend starting low and going and working up from there till you find that sweet spot. Anyway, look, I hope this has been valuable to you, because I hope you save this video. We bring everything you need from a technical standpoint, support, coaching, and mentoring. You got to bring desire. You got to bring commitment, right? You got to have, a I will succeed no matter what attitude to any business. This one's no different, except for the potential for you to create unlimited income. For a $200 investment is not available anywhere else on the planet. For $200, right? As I have other agents that have earned $1.5 million over a 2-3 year period, you could do the same for a $200 investment. Not a McDonald's franchise, not a Starbucks franchise, not a Subway franchise, not a Farmers Insurance franchise, which is $50,000 to $100,000. You're talking about $200. And you can start part-time, transition to full-time. But if you're going to be here part-time, you better have a full-time attitude and a full-time mindset on getting yourself ready, right? You may be working that 9-to-5 job, but figure out how to have that Bluetooth, in your ears, so you're on those conference calls and pick up those nuggets. And that's what a business owner would do to maximize his or her investment. Be hungry for success. I will until succeed no matter what, at all cost attitude. If you want to know about virtual and you really want to be partnered with somebody that has everything you need, is not faking it, has been going through it for 18 months, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, and let's talk. You bring the business mindset, and we'll bring everything else that you need to be successful. And you'll never be at risk of or be in fear of having someone else take your income, because as the title of this video says, it appears that we're headed for a permanent pandemic in this country. We're constantly cycling from one variant to the next, right? So that they can, and as long as that's going on, they have emergency powers and control over your income, potentially shutting your business down, going back into lockdowns again. Take action now so that doesn't happen to you. Bye-bye.